I heard that in the state of Florida, if a husband and wife die simultaneously, the husband always dies first. What
No,
is the legal ramifications of that?
no, that's not true. That's not true. That's some kind of rumor or something. So, Timothy, first of all, remember there's situations where they're in a car wreck and the husband dies instantly and the wife dies 2 hours later. Well, in fact, the wife has survived the husband for all legal purposes. There could be a situation where a husband and wife are in a plane and the plane goes down. They definitely died simultaneously. But what would happen is, let's say they really did died simultaneously in a plane wreck. What would happen would be is that the estate would literally be divided in two, and one half of the estate would be governed by what the wife's will says, and one half would be governed by what the husband's will says. Now, usually those wills say the same thing, but occasionally they don't. So, Timothy, with that said, tell me what's going on with you.
Well, my wife has children and I have children. If I die, everything's left to my wife, and if she dies, everything's left to me, and then it's left to our children because they were grown when we met.
So, when you say your children, do you mean all of them, your kids and her kids?
No, if I die first, everything goes to my wife.
Okay.
Then when she dies, everything goes to her children.
Okay.
And if she dies first, everything goes to my children after my death.
I got you. Okay. So you're one of the rare circumstances where, in fact, your will does say something. You have different wills, different potential outcomes. In a sense, it's kind of the winner gets all. But, Timothy, I would still say this, that if you guys went down in a plane wreck and you died simultaneously, your estate would be split in two. The home, bank accounts, you name it, and half would go to your kids and half would go to her kids.
Okay.
All right, Timothy.
I got you.
All right, you're very welcome.
I got you.
All right,
Thank
Timothy.
you.
Thank you. Hey, by the way, Chrissy, that reminds me that this is a situation where if I was doing Tim's will,
I know what you're thinking.
You know where I'm going with this?
I do.
It would say something like this. If my wife survives me
by 30 days,
by at least 30 days, I live everything to her. Because what Tim doesn't want is to be in a car wreck. He dies instantly. She dies 5 hours later. Now everything's going to her kids.
Right.
So I would add language that says that she's got to survive him by at least 30 days for that to happen.
Exactly.
95% of the wills that we do for the husband and wife, their wills are mirror images of each other. So it doesn't really matter which one passes away first. The result's going to be the same eventually. Occasionally, just like Tim, 5% of the times we do a will that says where the husband's saying they leave everything to each other.
Right.
But the husband's will says if my wife dies first, everything's going to my kids. Her will says if my husband dies first, everything's going to my kids. So it's kind of a survivor kind of take all kind of thing.
Correct.
2 minutes. Still, we got to go ahead.
Sometimes that is what they want, and the important thing is that that they are consulting an attorney to know that their wishes are and goals are being planned. And you're right, sometimes it's survivor take all, other times it's not, and that's where we as attorneys or other estate planning attorneys can help you to make sure with blended families in particular that we are accomplishing your goals for when you both pass away.
We're running out of time, but I want to get this important point in. Okay, is that even if they've got children from previous marriages and they say, okay, all goes to each other, but when the second of us passes, everything goes equally across the board to all of our kids, I got to tell the husband, look, if you die first, you need to understand your wife could go change her will.
Correct.
And sometimes the way we handle that as a husband, I say, look, you've got an IRA. Name your children as a partial beneficiary of your IRA so that when you pass away, no matter what happens down the road, your kids have got something from your estate.
Exactly.
Okay, even if your wife changes the will at a later date.
Correct. But that's why it's really important to have that consultation with an attorney so that you know what your plan is, including what you just stated.
When they come to see us, they're coming to see lawyers. We've seen anything and everything. Okay, we know the options for people to get it done in a way that meets their needs, and we love to help them at the Olsen Law Group.